The US has officially begun a naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Vice President J.D. Vance described the move as a response to Iranian economic terrorism, stating that the ball is in Iran's court regarding a potential ceasefire. Donald Trump recently deleted an AI generated image from his Truth Social account that appeared to depict him as a Jesus like figure. The post, shared on Sunday, April 12th, 2026, sparked a widespread backlash from both political opponents and some of his most loyal religious supporters who called the imagery blasphemous. The AI generated picture depicted Trump in a white and red robe reminiscent of classical religious art. Trump was shown placing his hand on the forehead of a sick man in a hospital bed as if performing a miracle. Bright divine light emanated from President's hands and his figure. The scene was surrounded by patriotic and military symbols, including the American flag, bald eagles, the Statue of Liberty, and fighter jets. Following the outcry, Trump removed the post on Monday morning. When questioned by reporters at the White House, he denied he was portraying Jesus, insisting he claimed he thought the image depicted him as a doctor or a Red Cross worker. It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better, he said. He blamed the fake news for the religious interpretation, though critics noted other figures in the background were already wearing medical scrubs. The image was posted shortly after Trump launched a social media attack on Pope Leo, calling the pontiff weak on crime and criticizing his stance on US military actions in Iran. In a recent interview with Fox News, President Donald Trump claimed that 121 supertankers are currently heading to the Gulf of America to purchase U.S. oil and gas. This comes as the U.S. begins a naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz to cut off Iranian revenue, leading Trump to urge global nations to buy sweet American energy instead. Trump confirmed that he has officially renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America in federal records. He argued the US owns roughly 93% of the shoreline, while Mexico owns only about 7%, making the original name bothersome to him. During the interview, Trump admitted he briefly considered naming it the Gulf of Trump. He told Fox News, I was thinking about calling it the Gulf of Trump, and I decided not to do it. I think that one maybe wouldn't have worked out too well. According to some reports, the Rich Starry, a Chinese owned and US sanctioned tanker, successfully transited the Strait of Hormuz on Tuesday, April 14. That is today, despite the newly implemented US naval blockade. The vessel is in the first. This vessel is the first known tanker to exit the Gulf since the blockade, which targets Iranian-linked trade, officially took effect on Monday. The ship was carrying approximately 250,000 barrels of methanol, loaded from the Hamria port in the United Arab Emirates, which is not an Iranian port. Data shows the vessel circled near Iran's Qasem Island late Monday before successfully completing its passage early Tuesday. The transit was reportedly unchallenged by the US Navy, leading analysts to question the effectiveness and credibility of the blockade's enforcement. Oil prices have fluctuated, initially rising but then easing on hopes that diplomatic talks in Islamabad might provide an off ramp for both nations. Hospitals in Lebanon are reporting a surge in burn victims following intensified Israeli attacks. Meanwhile, the UN condemned the killing of three Indonesian peacekeepers in the region. Following the ouster of Viktor Orban in recent elections, the incoming prime minister has signed a major foreign policy shift stating they would tell Vladimir Putin to stop the Ukraine war. Mark Carney's Liberal Party has secured a majority government following special by election wins. Debates continue over the leadership of major parties as they attempt to broaden their demographic appeal. The wife of the Spanish Prime Minister has been formally charged with corruption following a 2 year investigation. The founder of the Chinese property giant Evergrande has pleaded guilty to fraud charges in a major business trial.